I'm winding up a narrow, twisting road, the chaotic noise of Freetown fading behind me. The air cools, the jungle thickens, and suddenly, perched high in the misty rainforest hills, Tacugama emerges. A sanctuary where rescued chimpanzees swing through the treetops, oblivious to the storm brewing just behind this lush forest, highly sought-after lands used to escape the exhaust-fumed calamity of Freetown below. But today, I didn't just come to marvel at these playful chimps. I went inside the sanctuary, not for a tour, but to speak directly with the people fighting for its survival. The founder, the keepers, the frontline defenders, because Tacugama is under siege. And now, for the first time in its history, the gates are closed. In this video, I'll take you inside Tacugama's peaceful forest, where the shrieks of chimpanzees echo against the backdrop of creeping danger. I'll show you the scars on the land, the burnt hillsides, the unfinished buildings, the invisible battle lines drawn by illegal land grabbers and powerful elites. You'll hear from the sanctuary's founder, Bala Amarasekaran, who has faced threats, fires, and corruption, yet refuses to give up. Have you faced any pushback or threats from the land developers or illegal encroachments?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
What do they say?
They tell you about burning it down. They will tell you about don't come here.
Why would a world-famous sanctuary, visited by presidents the world over, and even renowned primatologist Jane Goodall, suddenly shut its doors? What's really happening behind the scenes? Stay with me, because what's unfolding here isn't just about wildlife, it's about the future of Sierra Leone's forests, its water, and its people. Don't blink. This is the story of Tacugama's fight for survival and why its closure should matter to every one of us.
Good morning, and I'm Sulaiman Sise. I'm a tour guide here at Tacugama. So the sanctuary actually is divided into 4 stages, and this is just stage 2. Here they're all babies, and this place is for them to learn skills, because most of the chimpanzees you are seeing here, where we take them from in human homes, they were either tied up on a rope or kept in a very tight cage, and that makes them to lack most of their skills they need to know. So that's why we have this place set for them, so that they can able to learn their skills.
Wow. What does it take to run a sanctuary? Like, what do you have to do every day?
Yeah, well, it takes a lot, because it takes time and money also, because that's the most important thing, because like, everything we do here costs money. Like for the fence alone, we use generator and also solar to run the fence, which is on as far as the chimps are outside, and that alone costs a lot of money. And also for the chimps food, the adults eat a lot, and also the babies, we give them the SMA gold milk and Nutrilite. So these are also a lot of money that costs to run this place.
Wow. Tell me about their behavior. What kind of behaviors do you see here? What's the difference between a chimp in the wild and a chimp that has been rescued?
Chimps in general really are social animals, but there are a slight difference between those that are living in the wild and the ones we have here in the sanctuary, because these are captives. Their behavior is quite different from those that are living in the wild. Those that are living in the wild, they are not too much attached to human, and they live freely. So they can be more happier than these ones we have here, because these guys, sometimes you see them, cuddling themselves for a very long time and doing something that's not normal like they do in the wild. And these are all the behavior of, the reason why they are living with humans before. Like they are traumatized, they do things that are not normal. So now this is morning hour, they're just active. You can see all of them climbing ropes and just walking around. These are one of the active moments, like during the morning hour and also late in the afternoon. You can see everybody's just roaming about.
And where are they all rescued from?
All the chimps we have here, 95% of them are rescued from human homes due to the result of poaching and pet trade. So 5% actually we are born in the sanctuary due to contraception failure, because we don't want the chimps to be breeding here. It costs a lot to look after these chimps in the sanctuary, and also it's against the Pan-African Sanctuary Alliance rule. So that's why we give the females contraceptives, but it sometimes fails. And you understand?
Yeah.
So when it fails, they just have to take care of the babies. And the good thing about them also, when a baby is born within any group, it's not only the mother's responsibility to look after that baby, but the whole group, it is their responsibility.
Why are chimpanzees being rescued from private homes? What is it in Sierra Leone that's what's happening in Sierra Leone that causes people to take them from the bush and keep them as pets?
Well, the primary aim for people is to go to the forest and kill a parent, the adult one, for mate. They are just lucky to get the babies after the parents are killed, and they have no choice but just to either keep them as pets or even sell them to people that want to kill them as pets. And it's illegal because there's a law against wildlife in Sierra Leone. There's all wildlife, illegal to be kept as pets. So chimpanzees, our constitution is mainly on them now because they are national animals of Sierra Leone and face of tourism. Like for this group, there's a guy here named Solo. You can see on the far other side, just after the pool, there's a chimp sitting very
All the way
close.
far?
Yes, so that's Solo. I can say like we're too close because he knows me now.
Okay.
Whenever even I'm passing by, when I call him, you see coming around trying to beat his chest, like showing off to me, and it's kind of fun. And I actually, for this group, is my favorite chimp. Yeah.
What does it mean when they beat their chest?
Well, just trying to show off. Chimps,
Okay.
more the male chimpanzees like to show off. Whenever like showing dominance when you seeing any other person around. This land grabbing thing, it's really disturbing this national park. You can see like very close to the sanctuary now, there are people coming very close and into the enclosures, because just on the other side, like just because of the trees you're not seeing, but we have a place called the New Rosalind. If you stand there, you can see a massive encroachment coming very close to the dam, which supply also the Aguma Dam at the region with water.
After Sierra Leone's civil war ended in 2002, Freetown's population surged as people fled rural areas for the capital city in search of safety, jobs, and other services. This rapid urban migration led to overcrowding, especially in the congested, noisy, and polluted lowland neighborhoods near the city center. In contrast, the cooler, greener hills above Freetown, where Tacugama is located, offer cleaner air, tranquility, making them highly desirable for housing. As a result, both wealthy Sierra Leoneans and foreign investors have sought to acquire land in these hill areas, often through illegal or unregulated means. This process, known as encroachment, is threatening Tacugama. To better understand what was going on, I scheduled time to meet Siddiqui Bayo, communications officer at Tacugama, who has seen everything from deforestation in Sierra Leone, some of the worst levels in the world, to the illegal land grabbing happening here, threatening the grounds his workplace sits upon. What have you seen change over that period?
I would say there's been a lot of little changes, just like infrastructure-wise, little tweaks in the way the place is run. I think Tacugama is one of those places that's always willing to adapt its approach and, delve into new things. Branch as kind of environmental advocacy through sports. I've seen us take on big projects like trying to push our Tiki program into the national curriculum, for example. Also, in the time that I've been here, the construction of the Innovation Center has started and is expected to be complete by the end of the year. So there are constantly this positive change happening. Some of it is very small, minute, but it's happening. Also, on the negative side, I've seen much more deforestation just in the time I've been here, which is just less than a year. I have seen physically a loss of the forest that was not here when I started. So it tells you how rampant it is and how kind of fast it's happening. That is a negative that I've seen. I guess another negative is just like still receiving chimpanzees, because at the end of the day, the point of the sanctuary is to be able to create safe enough wild spaces where chimps can thrive, not necessarily have to bring them here at the sanctuary. It's like every time we receive a chimp, we have to accept that, okay, yes, other chimps must have died for this to happen, which is tragic whenever you receive a new one. From this point, you can see the deforestation already happening.
Okay.
If not for this small canopy of trees, it would be much more clear, but you can still see how dry it is on that side. You can barely see trees. There's a little fence already someone is building, and that is all protected area. That is all part of the national park.
And so that is an area that's not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to even be deforested like that.
Right.
Needless to say, people building structures on it.
Okay.
So that is a big problem. Okay, so this national park, right? This place was established as a national park in 1916. And then in 2012, it became a forest reserve. No, sorry, it was forest reserve 1916, then it became a national park. And when it was declared as a forest reserve, it was 27,000 hectares of land that was forested. And now we've lost 10,000 of those hectares. Only about 17,000 hectares remain that is forested land.
Why is it happening at this deforestation issue and land encroachment issue? Why is this happening at such a higher rate now?
I think it's just a matter of urbanization being unchecked, because it's natural. You have communities that are growing within the capital. It is natural for those communities to require more resources and to just expand, right? But I feel like it is happening in a way where it's not properly checked. The sanctuary is at risk of closing, because what's happening here, if it is not checked, then ultimately there's very little we can do to stop what will happen. There will be a disaster, is what I'm saying.
In the worst case scenario, what would happen? Land enclosures just become so close to the sanctuary that it potentially causes a hazard like a fire, or there's no way that they would be able to take land here, right? Or is there?
There is. People will stop at nothing. There are people that if they have the way, they will come here where we're doing this interview and break it down and build a house here. They will not care. That is the type of people we're dealing with. They do not care that this will affect millions of people. No. It's like, this is mine now. I will build my house here. I don't care who this affects.
Hey everybody, I hope you're enjoying this video. I'm still in Sierra Leone shooting and doing deep dives on all kinds of cool topics for this channel. I just wanted to quickly interrupt to please remind you to like, subscribe. That's the best way to support this channel. This video that you're watching right now about Tacugama took a lot of energy and effort and resources to get there on a day that was good to film, that I can get these interviews from people, and that I even took some of their time. They gave me some of their time to explain what's going on. I can do more of these videos and cover more of these topics with your help, just by liking, subscribing, sharing the video. So if you like what I'm trying to do, Where Jody At is not your normal everyday travel video. I'm not just turning the camera on myself and experiencing a lot of these places in real time. It takes a lot of research, a lot of organization, a lot of preparation, and of course a lot of editing. So please consider liking, subscribing. Do that right now if you haven't yet. Like, subscribe, click the bell. This is YouTube, and this is the YouTube era. So help me. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Okay, so we're gonna go down to the car park. This is the car park we're building for the Innovation Center coming up. Okay. And from that area, you can see very clearly the deforestation that has happened on the national park.
And so whenever there's an illegal encroachment here, how do you guys get notified? Somebody in the woods, in the forest that sees it?
So normally we have forest patrol guards.
Okay.
And they do patrols every day. Okay, so maybe even from here, you can see some of it. All those. So where you see all those, this is all supposed to be national park area.
And so all of this was full of trees. There's as lush as
it was
these trees.
Just like that. What you see over here was just like that. It was a forest.
And so this has just been deforested to make room for these homes, and I see plots of land for homes to be erected. And so how does it make you feel when you see this?
It's spirit dampening, I would say. Because working at Tacugama for me is more of I think of it more of a national duty than anything else. I think of it as service, to try to protect something that I can recognize as a valuable resource for our nation in general. And it's very frustrating when you see things like this. You just wish you could just like project your mentality into other people for them to also see the weight and importance of it. So it can be disheartening. In the sun, because there's so much shade and wind. So even on a hot day, it feels cool there.
And so you're saying because these trees have vanished, the temperature has risen.
Yeah, definitely, because it's like now it's just direct. Like just think of when we're walking now through the sanctuary, even though there are paths, but then there on each side there are trees everywhere. So you're constantly shaded and you get all this fresh breeze from the trees, so you don't feel hot. But now, no. All this place where we're walking on right now, this is disputed land.
This is disputed.
Disputed, yeah. There are people that. There was one time we were having a tree planting initiative here because they had burnt this area, and the land grabbers literally came to destroy the holes we had made to plant the trees. You know, so it's a very real thing. All of that is national park area. All of that.
And so are all those homes like illegal?
Those are all illegal. All of that is supposed to be part of the national park.
So
Yeah.
every single structure that I see on this hill
Is not supposed to be there. But with some of them, that's the thing I was telling you earlier about the cutoff point. So some of them have been there for a long time. It's been established. So the ministry had demarcated a certain point where they were like, okay, from here onwards, let's not move further in. But it's still happening because that house there wasn't there when they made that declaration, but there it is now. That one all the way up there.
you can really see the mountain too, where it's green and then it just becomes
Exactly.
scarred. That's
Just
like a
fades
giant.
away. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is where the rainy season, where that rock is, you'll see water just gushing down. But now it's not so much.
At first, I was just learning about illegal land encroachments threatening the sanctuary, but then I met the people behind Tacugama, the staff who care for the chimps, protect the forest, and keep this place alive. If the sanctuary is forced to close, their lives could be upended too. Siddiqui introduced me to Mama P in the sanctuary's milk room, where baby chimps are cared for and nurtured before placement among other primates.
That is Mama P, so she's a surrogate mother to the young chimps, so the new rescues in quarantine.
Does she want to be interviewed?
Mama P is usually a little shy, maybe a quick thing. Mama P, you get time for get a quick chat to this man, so?
You have to translate. You speak Korea?
Yeah, I speak Creole.
Okay. Hello,
You want us
Ma.
to go up there?
If it's possible or whatever. Hello, Ma. Howdy, buddy.
Very fine.
How you sleep?
Fine, fine.
Out Freetown. Out Tacugama.
Tacugama, fine, fine.
Me name not Jody.
Eh?
Me name not Jody.
Okay.
Jody.
Okay.
Jody. Out USA, America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me name Mama P.
Mama P.
Yes.
Ah.
Commonly Mama P. Commonly known as Mama P.
Yes, ma'am. Glad to meet you.
Yes, I'm happy to see you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you are welcome to
Can you
Tacugama.
explain what I'm doing here? I don't know. That's too complicated and Korean for me.
Okay. Well, so Jody, they work with one news publication, and they do a story on we just for see what we can do. It's not all the struggle that we did face at Tacugama.
Okay.
You know, just to get an understanding of what's in the sanctuary they're about.
Okay.
That's my.
In Tacugama, taking care of the baby chimps and also the bigger ones. I make sure that they get feeding every day. I try to hug them, pampers them, and try to show them love.
That's nice.
Because you know when they arrive here as orphans, so I have to take care of them as a foster mother because they lost their families in the wild. So when they arrive here, like the younger babies, I make sure that they have their milk. At sometimes, like the younger babies, I give them I pampers them also, and also the bigger ones, I'm taking care of them. The only thing I show them love. This baby chimps or the chimps, if you don't show them love, they won't come closer to you. But if you show them love, you try to hug them, and you know you try to make sure that they're having their food at all times. When they need it, they'll have love for you. They will love for you. So,
What do you do to show them love? How do you handle a baby chimp to show them love?
well, I try to go closer with them. I hug them. I play with them. If they want to be cool with me, you know, I try to make sure that I show that love, that you know they won't do any harm to me. Because for me, from the time I started working here till now, I have never been beaten or neither been biting of none of these chimps.
Wow.
So that gives me the inspiration to love them. You see.
How can you tell when they've changed from being traumatized to happy? How can you see it in their face?
Well, you will actually see that in their face that they are happy. If they are traumatized, you will see, they will be angry. They will sit down quietly. You see, but you have to show them love. You have to hug them, show them that love, that you love them, to make sure that when they are here, they are happy. Because when they lost their families in the wild, when they come here, some of them they look traumatized. But I have to show them love to make them happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mama P, you've done a great thing for Sierra Leone here. That's really nice. You should be very, very proud of your work and what you've done with those chimps. That's very, very good.
Thank you very much.
I'm very proud of you. That's really touching. That's very nice.
Thank you very much. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Thank you so much for saying hello to us today. Thank you,
Ma.
Ma. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Grady, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, what a lovely woman.
Yes,
What a fantastically woman. And what a great job. Can you imagine getting to come here every single day to take care of chimp babies?
Sometimes she has to sleep with some of them.
Wow.
Some babies come in so young, she has to spend the night with them usually because they can't be left alone on their own. And she really does a lot. Venga, dale, no pide. Dale, 11 o'clock pide. 11 o'clock.
So I'm walking up this trail here, right next to the sanctuary, and the chimps are. To get more information, I went straight to the source, Bala, the founder of Tacugama. He's been on the front line since the beginning, over 30 years ago, and what he told me was deeply alarming. Tell us about the origin of...
Yeah, it all started by with a rescue of a small chimp. That was almost 38 years ago. And I rescued this chimp, brought him home, and nursed him back to health. Then rescued another chimp. Then that was the time the famous primatologist Dr. Jane Goodall dropped by. She came to Sierra Leone. She came to visit us for our Wildlife Week celebrations. And during that time, we talked about what do we do with these chimps I have rescued. And she suggested maybe they can go to an existing sanctuary in Zambia. So while we were working on this, I came across 2 more chimps in need for help. But this is the time it kind of dawned on me, look, you know what, I cannot run away from this problem because I will continue to rescue them. What do you do with them? So this is how I took this idea to the government to say, look, if you have certain laws regarding wildlife protection, if you want to implement the laws that involves rescue or confiscation of animals, what do you do with them? You need a place, a halfway house, a rescue center.
Curious, so how you were able to procure the land? Was this just something from...
It was a government initiative and I started it. So I demanded the government should provide us with a piece of land where we can set up sanctuary. So at that time, this place was it's a forest reserve. It's a protected reserve. So we decided that this could be a good place, and it's also a catchment area. So possibly this place will be protected in the future as well. So that's the reason we decided to come here. So the government allocated 100 hectares of land to set up a sanctuary. So this is where we built the first of the series of cages and the enclosures, and we moved in. And ever since we've been here. Now this year is a landmark year for us because we are completing 30 years.
It's your 30-year anniversary.
It is a 30-year anniversary, and we are really looking forward to moving around a bit, meet with past and present collaborators, friends of Tacugama. We are starting it in Barcelona, then we're going to Holland, then to the UK. And Jane Goodall, who inspired me at my initial stages. She will be there with us on the.
Can you look at him?
What's that? What's the problem? What is happening there? Who is there? What's happening there? What's happening there? Huh? Nice. All right. Okay.
Beautiful boys. They're beautiful. So we know, people know outside, people know about Sierra Leone, they know about the rebel war. Tell me about these, about the challenges trying to open this during that period.
Right. Well, when we started the sanctuary, there was no rebel war in Freetown.
Okay.
There was some rebel incursions further down south. But 95, the sanctuary opened its gates. But then 97, as you know, we had this military coup. Then between 97 and 2000, it was a very bad patch. There were several incursions, and there was Freetown got invaded at some point by rebels.
Yes.
Yeah, we went through all that. We were even attacked a couple of times.
You were attacked.
Yeah, we were attacked a couple of times. We survived it. But this is something, I don't like to talk much about it because we come out of it. Now it's all about telling a good story.
Sure, certainly.
From Sierra Leone, which is that sanctuary that started as an orphanage. Now it has become the #1 tourism destination for this country.
Yeah.
And what is happening around us on this spot is not pretty, because we have a lot of encroachment, lots of land grabbing going on, deforestation going on. Got to a point very recently, I even have to threaten to close down the sanctuary if they don't address this issue. Luckily, the president took note of it and he put his machinery in place, and he has authorized them to remove all illegal structures around the sanctuary. So that process has started, but it's not completed.
So can you describe for viewers like what exactly is happening? What's happening in this area? This is not really the urban environment where there's KKs and traffic and things.
No, not at all. This is a forest reserve. This is your national park. There is a green line. No one should breach that line, and this is the problem. So people have been encroaching. They are coming into the national park, and they are trying to, mainly is land grabbing. There used to be a problem long time ago, people burning charcoal and all that. That has minimized a lot. Now the major problem we have is people trying to encroach and try to grab land and go and find some illegal way of authenticating his encroachment and try to build their houses there. So this has been going on for some time. So that's what we are against it. Now the government is trying to put the right mechanism in place so we can bring sanity.
How are those encroachments threatening Tacugama?
In many ways. One is these are very sensitive animals and they can be dangerous too. So you don't want to bring humans very close to the sanctuary. Just like any other wildlife preserve all over the world, if you have a place like this, you want to give them a buffer zone where they can breathe. In case there is an issue or an accident or something, we need space. You cannot allow people to come and build along your enclosures. That will create a lot of problems. And when something goes wrong, then they will blame always the wildlife. But they forget it's the humans that caused the problem. So this is what we need to focus a lot more in terms of creating that buffer zone and give us a space between the sanctuary and them. And also don't forget, we chose this place because this is a catchment. Freetown is there because of the water. And we are the custodian of 2 dams here. You have the Congo Dam, you have the Tacugama Dam. If not for Tacugama's presence over 30 years, both dams would have evaporated. They would have destroyed it. It has happened in other places. So that means we have played this dual role, doing the chimpanzee conservation at the same time protecting this habitat, protecting 2 major catchments that gives water to Freetown. So it's a very sensitive area. It shouldn't be something, we shouldn't be on our knees begging for the government to protect. It should come from them. We are doing a good job, but they should do their job. They should be ashamed because you shouldn't go to president for this. President has
Other things to do.
Exactly. The mechanism isn't there. There are departments there who are only there. There are people eating, working taxpayers' money. They are being paid to do this job. They are not doing it. So that is the problem. So sometimes The leadership may be, focused on, they know exactly this is wrong, but then the machinery they put in place is not working. So they have to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you faced any pushback or threats from the land developers or illegal encroachments?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
What do they say?
Yeah, well, basically, they tell you about burning it down. They will tell you about don't come here,
How do they say that? They send you a letter?
Sometimes they can send you through a phone or a text or something. But if you try to trace it, they've thrown away the SIM, so you cannot find out who had it or something like that. These things happen. Sometimes some hooligans will come here, make some noise, and go.
Is Sierra Leone's status as a developing country or a resource-strapped country affect its ability to assist financially or get through some of these struggles? Or do you think this is political only? And
Sierra Leone's problem is, I always say, Sierra Leone is a very blessed, rich country with poor people. That's the way I will describe Sierra Leone, because Sierra Leone is blessed with all the natural resources. Many countries cannot even boast 10% of what we have here. But it has been mismanaged over the years. It hasn't really trickled down to the last man. So lots of other issues and corruption and these problems. They're trying to put things in place. But this country shouldn't be like how it is now. I just came back from on a quick tour to Singapore. Singapore was only a fishing village when Sierra Leone was called the Athens of Africa. Now you go there, they are a million miles away. They moved on. We've just gone backwards.
so is it safe to say that you're not afraid that anything's going to happen to Tacugama in the near future?
Well, if what is happening is not controlled and brought under control, then there is a good problem. You will expect some problem. Because if people come too close to the sanctuary, the chimpanzees might get, last year, about 2-3 months ago, the encroachment, they came and set up fire, and whole night the fire was burning very close to the enclosures. And chimpanzees are not stupid animals. If they think fire is approaching them, all what they can think is to escape. And if they escape, there's danger to humans as well. All right.
Thank you for your time.
We'll talk. Okay.
Appreciate
Good,
it.
yeah? You want to come to Tacugama, it's very easy, right? Freetown? Very easy to find Freetown. It's the west coast of Africa. And when you want to, if you go and Google, you search Freetown, the first name you will see is Tacugama will just pop up. So this is the place. If you come to Freetown, make sure you come to Tacugama, and it's very easy to find. Come down in Freetown, ask anyone, where is the Chimpanzee Sanctuary? Any two-wheeler, four-wheeler, anything will bring you straight here. So it's easy to find.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Cheers. Local media reports suggest that illegal land grabs around Tacugama are being driven by foreign investors, government officials, and well-connected individuals, often those with ties to the state. These are the few with enough wealth and influence to hire contractors to build on protected land or deploy enforcers to intimidate sanctuary staff. Although complaints have reportedly reached the office of the president, the encroachments continue, fueled by a small elite exploiting their privileged status in a country where nearly 60% of the population is under the age of 25 and over half live in poverty. Just days after I visited Tacugama to get these interviews, Bala closed his sanctuary and cited these illegal land grabs as the reason for the sanctuary's closure. Tacugama's future now hangs in the balance, and now closed is one of West Africa's strongest frontline defenses against illegal wildlife trafficking.